Everyone, today we're going to review solving quadratic equations by graphing. You watched a few videos and did some activities last week about this topic. I just wanted to quickly review it because we are going to have a quiz tomorrow on this as well as 8-6. So every quadratic function is related to a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is just written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And that's the key. We want the equation to be set equal to 0 in order to solve. Hopefully you remember that the x value of the x-intercepts of the quadratic function or quadratic equation are also known as the zeros of the quadratic. So the zeros are also the x-intercepts, the x values. And then these numbers are also known as the roots or solutions of the quadratic. All of those words are synonymous. They all refer to the same thing. So one way to solve a quadratic is to graph it. I have these quadratics already graphed for you. So the first one's 2x squared minus 2 equals 0. This is already in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. You can use the axis of symmetry and the intercepts to find the graph, or you could make a table of values if you prefer. When you graph the quadratic function, it looks like this green parabola here all the way to the left. And if you notice, this parabola crosses the x-axis at 2 points. So that means that there are two solutions. These points are at x equals 1 and x equals negative 1. So the roots of this quadratic, 2x squared minus 2 equals 0, is x equals 1 and negative 1, or you could say x equals plus or minus 1. For number 2, it's negative x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0, so it's already set equal to 0. Again, graph it any way that you'd like from how we've learned. When you graph this quadratic, it's a parabola that looks like this green one in the middle. And if you notice, this parabola only touches the x-axis at 1 point. That point is at x equals negative 2, so that means that the solution or the root of this quadratic, negative x squared minus 4x minus 4, is x equals negative 2. Again, if the vertex is on the x-axis, then that is the only root. It is the one solution to the parabola. The last example is x squared plus 5 equals 4x. The problem with this example is that it's actually not in the form set equal to 0. So what you have to do is actually rearrange the equation, like a literal equation. So you have to minus 4x from both sides. That gives you x squared minus 4x plus 5 equals 0. When you graph this one, however, you should notice that it starts above the x-axis and it opens up since a is positive. So that means it's never actually going to touch the x-axis. There's no x-intercept, so therefore this parabola has no solution, or this quadratic has no solution. Okay, there are 3 quick check problems, and I actually have them posted on Classroom for you. Try those now, and it's self-checking, so we'll let you know if you are correct or not. And if you have any questions, obviously just comment and let me know. Thanks.